Okay, recording. So come to a seat, a comfortable seat. And deepening your breath. Nice deep inhales, exhales. And just take the next minute to really feel your body. Feel the parts of your body that are touching the ground. And feel the parts of your body that have clothing covering the skin, and feel the parts of your body that are exposed to the air. And one of my old roommates, he used to tell me that he would wake up in the morning and before he would get out of bed, he would just try to feel as good as possible. And I thought that that was really simplistic, but I have always loved it. So take a moment to just try and feel as good as possible. Think of something that you love. Take a nice big deep breath. Take a moment to settle into this time that we get to share every week. And then as you're ready to, go ahead and just from here, let your eyes fall open. And just give yourself some shoulder circles here. Draw the shoulders up toward the ears and back and down. Let those shoulder circles go one way and then send them the other way. And then go ahead and bring your right hand down next to your right hip and take your left arm up and over and just stretch through the whole left side of your body. Get nice and heavy through the left hip. Pull the bottom left ribs up and off of your left hip bone. And then take an inhale and just bring this up and over to the other side and take your left hand down and send your right arm up. And then bring your focus right into your right side. Pull the bottom right ribs up off of the right hip bone. And then go ahead and do a couple more, just flowing with your own breath, using the inhale to move up and over, and the exhale to find a nice deep stretch that works for you. Go with your own breath. Use the breath to get you deeper into this move that's relatively simple and meditative. Okay. From here, just go ahead and come up and over and come to all fours. And then from all fours, let's go ahead and move the hips and the shoulders. So taking everything a little bit forward and then over to the left and then back and then up through the right. And take several of these. Go nice and slow. You can close your eyes. I really enjoy closing my eyes in this move because it's actually pretty complex. And I like to nerd out on where the muscles pick up when I drop my weight over to the side. And so then go ahead and go the other way with your circles. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do some flowy, twisty stuff. So go ahead and come to seated on your shins. I think I've taught this to you before, but I'll run through it nice and slow, and we'll do it several times. So you'll have plenty of practice. So go ahead and take an inhale and draw these arms out and up and let the palms touch up above you. And then as you exhale, you're going to side bend over to the right. So similar to the move that we just started with, side bend over to the right. Take an inhale now and come back up through center and take your arms with you. And then as you exhale, twist over to your left. Take this right hand and bring it outside of your left knee. And my body just likes to go straight out back. So you're twisting your spine. And then take your next exhale and just take all of this over. Cross the left arm over to the right, over the right. Take an inhale and peel this open to the right. And then take an exhale and bring all of this forward into a cat pose. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale, cat. And we'll do it several times. So if you're like, what? It's okay. It will flow and make more sense as you do it more. With your next inhale, come into your cow pose. With your next exhale, take the cat pose and bring the hips back to the heels. With the next inhale, take these arms out and up once again. Join the palms up above your head. And as you exhale, side bend over to the left. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale and side bend over to the right. Inhale, come back up through center. I think I cued you wrong on this. Go ahead and come forward, come to all fours, and take some cat-cow. I was giving you two different sequences. I got them confused in my head. We did the beginnings of both of the sequences, which isn't going to work. So all I really wanted to do was kind of get your hips moving a little bit. So let's go ahead and take this right foot forward. Step it forward and we'll go into a nice wide lunge. So take this right foot and kind of toe heel it out to the right so you can have both of your hands on the inside. All right, and then let's just stay here for a few breaths. Breathe nice and deeply. And as you do, see if you can press the left foot, the back foot, down into the mat a little bit more. It's going to fire up all the action in your hip. Hopefully bring some energy into that. Looks great. And then from here, let's just go ahead and take this over to the side, the other side. So go ahead and back out of this, come back to all fours, and take this left foot way far out to the left so that you can get your hands and your elbows if you're going down on your forearms. And again, just taking several breaths here. Press the top of the right foot down so that you can have more action happening in your hips and in your groin. And obviously, if that's too much, then go ahead and take the pressure off of the back foot. Okay, now let's just go back to the first side. Take this back apart. Bring this right foot back. And then, so if you want to, do the exact same thing. If you want to take this further, go ahead and bring your hands up to your right knee. Decide what works for you. Okay, so if you want to move on and add a little bit more, you can take this left arm up and take the right arm up too. Maybe you interlace the fingers. Take a few breaths here. See if you can sink forward and down into your hips a little bit. Yes. Yeah, it's fine when you're in a low lunge like this to have the knee a little bit forward of the ankle. It doesn't have to be perfectly over. So if it helps to get into your hips a little bit more like that, then you're fine. Cool, cool. Okay, so go ahead and take this back down. Go ahead and rock these hips back. We'll put a little half split in here. Send those right toes up toward the ceiling. Drop your right hip down toward the floor and put a little bit of adduction. Squeeze your thighs just a little bit together. And then let's go ahead and flow this a few times. So go ahead and exhale and come back onto the sole of this right foot. Inhale and take these arms either out to the sides and up, or you can take them forward. With an exhale, you can come down. And with an inhale, you can rock back. So just go on your own, putting this great range of motion into your hips. Let them move in this natural front back kind of way. Okay, so from here, go ahead and come back onto the sole of this right foot. Plant this left hand down on the left side of your mat and take this right arm up and take a little twist here. Good. So really pressing your left hand down into the mat so that you can feel the rebound of energy up that left arm and out through the right arm. Taking the shoulder blades down away from the ears so your shoulders aren't really tense and crowded. Drawing the belly button in toward the spine so the tailbone moves down toward the left heel. Okie doke. Go ahead and take this down. Take this right knee back to meet the left. Take this left foot back forward. Taking a moment here to set up the lunge, and then go ahead and bring your hands up. And again here too, just finding where it makes sense for your hips to be. So trying to take these down and forward as much as possible. Pressing down, straight down with the top of this right foot. We'll fire all this up more. The arms can go up. There's a back bend here. The tailbone is moving down toward the floor and the belly button is moving in toward the spine. And the more you can kind of lift up the front body and kind of send that chest up as the tailbone moves down, the more you'll be protecting your low back. So go ahead and take an exhale and bring this down. We'll put a half split in here. We'll park it here for a couple of breaths so you can kind of find the stretch and see what you're doing. Your left toes are moving up toward the ceiling. Your left hip is dropping down toward the floor. You're squeezing your thighs together just a eensy-weensy little bit, and then you're backing off of any of those things that are causing you pain. Cool, cool. And then we'll go ahead and flow this a little bit. So this happens on an exhale, and on an inhale, you come on up. On an exhale, you take this apart and then rock it back. Inhale. Exhale, sole of foot. Inhale, up you go. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, rock it back. Good. This looks great. Just flow with your own breath. Move how your body wants to move. It looks beautiful. And if it takes you a couple of breaths to get through the movement, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, then take a couple of breaths. You don't have to do everything on the inhale and everything on the exhale. Sometimes it's cool if you can, but it doesn't really mean anything if you don't. Okay, go ahead and bring your hands back in. Let's set up for that twist. So pressing the right hand down. It's way out by the right side of the mat and sending this left arm up. And then again, I really want this for a nice long spine for you and really therapeutic for the low back. So really use your right hand to ground down and give you lots of support here. Find your tailbone, send it down toward that right heel. Draw your belly button in toward your spine, but try to give your front body that buoyancy that's going to support the back body. So you're not just drawing the belly button in, you're drawing everything in. Okie doke, go ahead and take this back down. Take this left knee back to meet the right. Give yourself a couple of rounds of cat-cow here. Okay. Go ahead and bring yourself out onto your belly. Come out onto your belly, and what I am thinking is Cobra Pose, but a really nice low Cobra Pose with the intention of getting out of your low back. So what a Cobra is really an upper back exercise and back bend. So training your tailbone to stay down in order to lift your chest is what my point is. So bring your face down. Bring your hands, your thumbs. Your hands are about under where your shoulders are. Draw your shoulder blades together behind you so that as you do that, you really feel a lift to the shoulder heads and they just really kind of plug in. Your hands then can be a nice little brace for this whole thing. Your legs don't have to be together, but you do want to press all your toes down. Press all your toes and the tops of your feet down. And as you do that, drop your tailbone down toward between your heels. Now, send your heart forward and look forward and start to bring yourself up. Use your hands to press down, but don't do too much hand press. Use your upper back muscles and your shoulders drawing together and back to help lift. Well played. And then go ahead and lower back down. And we'll just do little baby crunches, right? Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. And just give yourself a few more of these. Not too big of a movement, focusing on the upper spine and the drop of the tailbone. And then when you're kind of over it, go ahead and just push yourself through all fours and bring hips back to heels and stretch your back out. Nice happy little back. Bring your forehead down to your mat and just rest here for a moment. Send lots of breath into your back and stretch your back out with your breath. Okay, go ahead and bring your sweet self back out onto your side. Come onto one of your sides and go like this. So your forearm is parallel to the top of your mat, and you're just kind of lounging here. So basically, I'm giving this to you for movement in your lymph nodes in your armpits, but also for Karen's
kind of course that we're building to support you as you teach Zumba. So it's for your intercostal muscles and your sides, as well as your underarm. So go ahead and let this collapse a little bit. And then go ahead and press your forearm down and just lift up a little bit. Get this gathering effect going on your underside so you can really just feel lots of support underneath you. And then go ahead and let this go. And again, really push and just power up your whole bottom side so you can really feel like it's a hammock of muscles under there supporting you. Go ahead and keep going with this. Door number 2 would be to actually lift up and lower. You can send this right or your top leg long and lower. So just, it's not a very big movement again. You can do a little bit more with this if you want by taking this top arm up and over. I've been kind of liking to swoosh it and just feel kind of like an arc there through your whole body, and then back down. Looks great. Okay, go ahead and bring your sweet self back down. Take this bottom arm now and just hug. Okay, so we're all on different sides. So Karen's going to use her left hand to really press down and peel. So now we're switching and we're doing the top side, right? So go ahead and peel your whole self up. And lower back down. And be sure to move this left hand a little bit because, again, you don't want to work too hard. It is work, but make sure that you've got the right leverage on it. So I think, I think you're about right. I think that's good for you. Never mind. So take a few of these and just peel. Yes. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and do your other side. So just flip this over. So now we're going to do the same work on your left side. So I seem to be most comfortable with my top leg being long, but you can decide whatever you're going to do. So your right leg would be long, left leg is probably bent a little bit. Come up onto your left elbow, your left forearm. There you go. And then go ahead and just kind of collapse this down. And then really ground the left forearm down. So what I want you to feel is just all of this action through your whole bottom left side.
So I feel it's like my hips and stuff are like grinding into the ground.
Oh.
Is it okay to put it or like bend the mat or something?
Absolutely okay, yeah. Or if you want to, you can take your mat and do the doubling over bit.
That's the thing I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, you just grab one piece and then pull it over onto itself. There you go.
That is better.
Better?
Perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so this side is just the gathering of all those supporting muscles on this left side of yours. So just press down. And then eventually you'll just kind of want to lift up a little bit. You can kind of turn this into a little half plank, like a forearm plank, and then lower back down and press and lift. And you can keep this hand on this hip because it's a nice reminder, and you can actually just kind of energetically push down and make this a little bit harder. If you want it to be more flowy and kind of woo with it, then you can take this up and over. I just like the stretch through my ribs. All right. So then when you're over that, go ahead and take this top arm. So now your right arm becomes the brace. You lower all the way down. Your left arm just tucks. And then you're just peeling. So now you're using those really strong side muscles to peel yourself up. And it's a little bit of push-up too. But it's mostly those big, strong side muscles. Good job. It looks great. A couple more of these. Doesn't take too many to get you to where you want to go, for sure. All right, whenever you're over it, go ahead and be done. From here, go ahead and bring yourself onto your back. You can undo your mat if you want to. I think we should go back into the hips from here. So coming onto your back, let's do a quick thread the needle here. Cross your right leg, right ankle over top of your left knee. And then draw this all in. And just letting the stretch evolve a bit. Let yourself breathe. You can use this right elbow to just encourage this right knee away from you. That really seems to change things for me. You can also draw your left knee toward you, which can also change things. But bring your attention into your back, your lower back, and just imagine the whole thing just pooling. Just imagine it like water. And then go ahead and release this. Cross your left ankle over your right knee and draw this in. And again, we'll stay here for like a minute, so take your time. Use the left elbow. See if you like the left elbow on the left knee. See where it feels best to draw this right knee in toward you. Give it lots and lots of breath. And take a few more breaths here. Let's go ahead and, let's put this flow in here. Take happy baby from here. And let's hold this one for a few breaths too. So allow these feet to get really wide. Allow the thighs to really move outside of the ribs. And my plan here is to flow this through a half happy baby on either side. So, but take several breaths here before we get going so that you can really find a nice centered back. Try to make your back feel flat and just heavy like a brick. And then as you're ready to, go ahead and release one of your feet. Take that leg and the corresponding arm and make a nice long side for your whole body with an inhale. And then take this back up into a happy baby on the exhale. And on the inhale, go the other side. And exhale, draw it in. So taking several of these, and again, you know, the breath is really important when you move, and how you move is really important, but it really matters if you're doing it consciously. So You know, it makes sense to do a nice long inhale here, but if it takes you 2 breaths to get there or whatever, then that's fine too. All right, so let's go ahead and just hug the knees in for a moment here. Bring your face in toward your knees. And then go ahead and send your legs straight up. Take your arms behind your head and interlace your fingers behind your head. And we'll do a little bit of ab work on the front side, again, kind of focusing on the really deep abdominals. So when you're ready to, from here, you're going to inhale and just see if you can lift your tailbone a little bit. And exhale and lift your shoulders. Inhale, see if you can lift both a little bit more. Good, and exhale, go ahead and lower that. We'll do a few of these. So inhale, lift tailbone. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale both, and exhale, release. Good job, keep going. Inhale, tailbone. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale both. Exhale, release. Inhale, tailbone. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale, both. Exhale, release. All right, adding on. Inhale, tailbone. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale, both. Send your right leg long. Bend your left knee. Bring your elbows to your knees. See if you can touch. Inhale, back up to center. And exhale, release. Inhale, tailbone. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale, both. Exhale, left leg long. Right knee bends, elbows to knee. Inhale, everything back up. Exhale, release. Let's try one more on each side. Inhale, send your tailbone up. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale both. Exhale, right leg long, left knee bends, elbows touch. Inhale back up. Exhale out. Last one. Inhale, tailbone. Exhale, shoulders. Inhale both. Exhale, right knee bends, left leg is long. Inhale everything up and exhale out. All right, just let your feet go really, really wide and then just give yourself some windshield wiper knees. Okay, so having done a bit of on-center front back work, let's finish it up with some more round hip work, and then we'll call it good. So from here then, go ahead and send your legs back up. Give yourself capital T arms. Send your legs wide like a V. And then send your left foot down and your right foot up. Like we're going on a clock, so the right leg is at 12 o'clock and the left foot is at 6 o'clock. And then send your legs back out in a V and go the other way. Legs back out in a V. So you're kind of like ascribing on a clock. Your right leg is moving from 12 to 6 and your left leg is moving from 6 to 12. Yes, and then see if you can keep letting the legs get wider and wider so that what's really happening is you're moving your big old thigh bone in your hip. And you're using your abdominals to stabilize the hip so your legs can move. All right, and then go ahead and come back to the knee hug. And take the feet together. Let the knees go wide. And just take your hands down to your belly and just let yourself breathe. Let your eyes close. And just take a few moments here to get back in touch with your body and to bring your focus inward. See if you can feel the soles of the feet touching each other. Feel how if you press your pinky toe edges together, the ball, big toe side of the foot wants to separate. Let's go ahead and put a shoelace pose in here before we completely end this. So go ahead and gather up your knees, cross your right leg over top of your left like you're sitting professionally in a chair. And then draw your knees in together. And then grab for opposite shins. And just like shoelaces, you're gonna work toward pulling these shins apart. And it's a nice big stretch for the outsides of your hips. Specifically should probably go into the right hip, but totally could also do the left. You may want your hands closer to your knees or closer to your ankles. Kind of depends on how you're built and how open you are. Take a few more breaths here. And then instead of a sit and spin, let's go ahead and just do the same move that we've been doing. So just release this and let your legs go really, really wide. And then let them cross the other way. So putting together your shoelace pose here, again, the left leg crossed over the right is probably going to be for the left hip, but you may find it stretching your right too. I like the name shoelace for it because you do kind of pull your shins apart like you're tying shoelaces, but not too much. Always make sure you can breathe. Take 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead and release this. Let your feet be on the mat and let your knees knock together. And just take a moment here. You can have your eyes closed or open, but just check in with your body and see how it feels. Hopefully hips feel alive, like there's movement and energy through them. Look for any spots that don't feel like they have a lot of energy in them. Ask that spot what it wants from you in order to make this practice complete for you. And if you're done, you can send your legs out long and just treat yourself to a nice Savasana. You could just send your legs up, and I promise I won't make you do any ab stuff. You could just stay here and just kind of let your legs do their thing. Might feel nice to do some ankle circles, some point and flex of the feet. You could even separate your tootsies, write an email with your toes. You can take the legs wide, stretch a little bit more into your inner thighs if that would feel good to you.
Plow Pose is another place that you might want to go. You can press your hands into the mat and just send these feet up and over. You can clasp your hands behind your back and then try to tuck your shoulders together behind you. Yeah, exactly. Perfecto. You can stay there, or you can send one leg up or both legs up. And here too, even when you're upside down, is that same concept of the belly button drawing in, the tailbone moving up toward the feet. And as you do that, there's actually more space, more good juju. So stay here for as long as you like. And then when you're ready to come down, we'll do a fish pose. Very nice controlled descent. Well done. Bring your sweet self up onto your elbows and just send your face and head back as you push your forearms down. There's actually that same action we were doing with the side planks here. So pressing down to find that gathering effect through the back body and the lift through the front. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and lie down on your back. Let your legs be a little bit separated. Get yourself in snow angel formation. Send your arms out away from your body just a little bit, but not too much. Let your shoulders be really flat into the mat. Let your palms face up toward the ceiling. It allows for more openness through your chest. Breathe very deeply. Start to give yourself deeper breaths. And just put some gentle movement back into your body. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, crack knuckles. And then go ahead and stretch your arms up overhead so you're just like a big capital I. Stretch long. And then bend your left knee, press the sole of the left foot into your mat so you just roll over onto your right side. And let yourself stay there on the right side for a moment and just rest and breathe. And then when you're ready to go ahead and come up to a comfortable seat, whatever seat feels good to you is perfect. And bring your hands to your heart. You can go prayer or just stack them, whatever works for you. And just take a moment here and come back to that feeling good. See if you can just feel good. Take a moment, take a little tour through your body. Thank that body for all the work that it does for you, all the support that it gives you. Thank your bones and your joints, your muscles, your eyeballs for seeing, and your ears for hearing. Invite your voice to be clear and the things that you say to be purposeful today. And as always, I sincerely appreciate you for choosing to spend this time with me. And your friendship too. Thank you. I appreciate you. Namaste. Thanks, gals. Let me stop recording this.